Prince Louis is set to join the royal family's Christmas Day celebrations at Sandringham for the first time this year. The 4-year-old caught the nation's attention at Queen Elizabeth's Platinum Jubilee celebrations over the summer with his mischievous antics. Now, Prince William and Kate's youngest child may join the family in a starring role on their traditional Christmas Day walk to church, The Mirror reports. The final decision over Prince Louis' attendance at Sandringham will not be made until the day itself. But it is hoped the youngster will make the proceedings light and festive alongside his older siblings Prince George, 9, and Princess Charlotte, 7, and distract from the family's ongoing row with Harry and Meghan. Prince Louis first stole the limelight at the Queen's Platinum Jubilee celebrations as he stood chatting to the Queen. The 4-year-old showcased several amusing expressions as he sat next to his mother, the Duchess of Cambridge, in the royal box during the 4th day of Platinum Jubilee celebrations. At times, he was seen clenching his fists, sticking out his tongue, waving his arms in the air, covering his ears, putting his hands over his mother's mouth and standing in his seat for a better view of the spectacle. He later moved across to his other relatives and sat on his grandfather Prince Charles' lap, who pointed out various interesting parts of the parade to try and keep the 4-year-old entertained. His older siblings Prince George and Princess Charlotte made their Sandringham debuts in 2019 when they were aged 6 and 4. At the time, the excitable Charlotte stole the show by cheerily waving and greeting the royal fans, before melting hearts as she stopped to hug wheelchair-bound Gemma Clark, who had waited all morning to say hello. Ms. Clark, 39, who travelled from Long Sutton in Lincolnshire with her family, gave Charlotte an inflatable flamingo and said she seemed pleased with the gift. At the time she said George and Charlotte were brilliant and that they both hugged her. "It made my day," she added. The Royal Walk is a Christmas Day family tradition. They go from Sandringham to St. Mary Magdalene Church to attend the morning service. They have celebrated at Sandringham since 1988, but due to the pandemic they stayed in Windsor in 2020 and 2021. The family make a 300-meter public walk in front of the well-wishing public who line the route to the church, which fits 100 people in with the monarch on the front row. Charles is also preparing to pre-record his historic, first-ever Christmas broadcast as monarch, when he will no doubt reflect on the loss of his mother and her legacy. Traditionally, members of the royal family sit down to watch the televised address when it airs after lunch, usually at 3 p.m. on December 25. However, questions remain over Harry and Meghan, who are said to be frozen out of King Charles' first Christmas dinner at Sandringham as monarch. It follows reports that King Charles and Queen Consort Camilla are hosting the dinner for what have been dubbed by insiders as members of the loyal family. Earlier this week, Prince William paid tribute to the late Queen as he quoted her love of the spirit of togetherness at Christmas during a special carol concert at Westminster Abbey, just hours after Harry and Meghan's Netflix series launched an unprecedented attack on the royal family, accusing the King of lying and the Prince of Wales of screaming at his brother. During the Together at Christmas concert, set to air on ITV on December 24, William poignantly read a passage from the late Queen's 2012 Christmas message in which Her Majesty said she was always struck by the spirit of togetherness during the festive season. It was a time, she added, when we remember that God sent His only Son to serve, not to be served. There was no suggestion that William intended the striking message to be contrasted with the example of his brother, who turned on his family in Thursday's Netflix series. Indeed, it was planned long before the notorious documentary, but it will have resonated with many of the 1,800 guests gathered in the Abbey for the concert, staged to recognize the selfless efforts of individuals, families and communities across the UK, and celebrate and showcase the joy that human connection and togetherness can bring. It is likely Camilla's son, Tom Parker Bowles, and her daughter Laura Lopez will attend the royal lunch. Mike Tindall and Zara Phillips are also believed to be on the list along with their children. A source told The Sun, "Camilla is keen that her family are at the heart of Christmas, particularly as Charles won't have his youngest son there. It is an extremely important Christmas coming just months after they last all gathered for the Queen's funeral. During last Christmas the family were desperately trying to sort out Prince Andrew and his sex abuse case, and then there was the incident with the intruder carrying a crossbow at Windsor Castle. We saw the togetherness at the Princess of Wales Carol concert this week, and Christmas will be held in the same spirit.